Sup yo Chucklefucks, it's your boy Dark Raikou here with What If Issei had Spiral Energy Part 16. Now, I don't know why, but I'm thinking of just world creating. No, I'm just kidding. But mostly, this What If has been the longest point. Also, yes, part 15 was a while ago because, well, mostly I had to cut it off short because I had to go pick up someone. I realized that mostly when I got there, instead of being a huge ass line that I had to wait in, there was like hell of no one there. Like, where the fuck did everyone like pick up their children so fucking fast? I'm like, goddamn, I didn't know fucking moms really wanted their children back because damn, I know Mexican moms who should be telling you to just stay in school, like fuck off. But goddamn, when I just got there, damn. Okay, maybe I'll have to go earlier. Maybe, but not the point. Let me begin into this what if. Let me shut the fuck up and let me start into this what if. Okay, sorry for rambling on right now, but let me begin. We go back into mostly Issei and mostly Weiss get into the cafeteria. When everyone looks up to see mostly none other than, well, Issei Hyodo, or not Issei Hyodo, Issei Sano Karagawa, mostly a girl notices and says, "Hey, Issei!" This is where a girl with mostly blackish hair and like reddish highlights and has silverish eyes. A girl next to her is mostly having goldenish hair, like blondish goldenish hair. She has purplish eyes, and this is where, well, purple, blue, whatever you like to call it. But right now, she has kind of tannish, well, not tannish, mostly palish skin or kind of whitish skin, like similar to that of, well, the girl who was named Ruby. This is where, well, mostly Issei kind of waves at Ruby, and this is where, well, mostly Weiss says, "How do you know Ruby?" This is where, well, mostly Issei said, "Oh, I met her and I did ask her how to get to delinquents. I had to lie to her and I felt kind of bad, don't I?" This is where Weiss notices and says, "Don't feel bad. She's too much of an idiot half the time." He says, no, I should kind of apologize to her. This is where, well, we'll see why I said, whatever. We gotta get you, what's it called, food, and then also Madaka-san. He says, yeah, that I should. This is where, well, Issei was kind of like walking in. Of course, everyone's eyes literally was tracking on the boy who was literally named Issei. Issei got annoyed and put on his hood, put on some music also, like put on some earbuds from his mostly phone. He definitely had headphones, but not the point. He put them on and just started hearing music. This is where Weiss notices, and she thinks that Issei kind of got embarrassed with the too many eyes. No, Issei just got annoyed. This is where, well, mostly Issei would tell him to F off if this was his old kind of like middle school or even what's it called, Cool Academy. But he can't. He doesn't know half of these people, so whatever. So mostly the song he's hearing is called Out of Control by who, you get the point. It says right here. Made by them, but yeah, not the point. So of course, mostly they are kind of just like walking in. Of course, mostly Issei gets a burger while mostly Weiss does get, well, Madaka salad or something. Of course, well, mostly Weiss does tell Issei to also kind of, well, yeah, Weiss tells Issei to kind of get something that's veggies and other stuff, which Issei kind of tries to refuse, but Weiss decides to force him anyway, because mostly Weiss noticed that yes, Issei is a guy still, and of course he is quite good looking and other things, but still he's a guy, so of course he's going to not try to get anything veggie. This is where Issei kind of grumbles, but not the point. This is where, well, mostly Ruby actually appears behind both Weiss and Issei, and this is where Ruby says, "Weiss, Issei, are you two dating?" This is where Weiss' face becomes red, and Issei says, "Huh? No." This is where Issei kind of said with such a confused look. Well, while Weiss is kind of blushing and looking away from mostly Ruby, this is where, well, mostly the blonde-haired girl says, "Yeah, I'm actually quite interesting. Are you two dating?" This is where, well, Weiss says, "No, can you stop asking me that? I'm not dating him. He's with, what's it called, Madaka-chan." This is where he says, we're not dating entirely." This is where Issei said, right now blushing and looking away. This is where, well, mostly Weiss kind of noticed Issei's kind of blush and kind of thought that mostly it looks kind of cute on him, but then again, he is kind of, well, mostly friends with Madaka, and mostly Weiss respects Madaka. Mostly a bunch of girls and even guys respect Madaka because she is, well, mostly counted as to be the chairman, whatever. Somewhat not chairman, but mostly the council president, but not the point. This is where, well, she's been kind of having a lot of responsibility in the school, but not the point. This is where, well, mostly Issei coughed into his hand. Well, other than that, we should probably get back to the council room. It's nice to see you, Ruby, again, and even, who are you again? This is where mostly the blonde-haired girl says, "Oh, my name is, well," this is where, well, she then says, "Oh, my name is Ying Xiaolong. You can also call me Yang if you want to just kind of shorten it down. This is where, well, mostly Yang kind of said almost a Yang. This is where, well, Issei nodded and says, well, hello there, Yang. This is where, well, mostly Yang kind of sees how Issei is quite interesting. This is where, well, Yang says, I saw your video and mostly that fight against the delinquents. I didn't know you were actually a strong fighter. From the first look, mostly if anyone gives you a first glance, you do look like you don't actually fight that much. But from a closer look up, you do seem like the type to fight. This is where she kind of puts her kind of finger on top of Issei's chest, just to kind of try to feel it, and of course she can feel some muscles. This is where she gets kind of drooly a little bit. Which mostly both Weiss and Ruby kind of say, Yang, what are you doing? This is where, well, we'll see Issei's kind of looking at this kind of confusedly. And of course he does figure out what she's trying to do, and this is where Issei's face becomes a little red. This is where, oh, mostly Yang say, oh, sorry girls, I was just kind of seeing how strong he is. And not gonna lie, you have some well-defined muscles there. This is where, well, mostly Issei blushes a little bit, look away, embarrassment. While mostly both Ruby and even Weiss blushes because they actually had a dirty thought and what Yang meant about that. And this is where, well, mostly Yang says, but still, I wonder how interesting you are. She looks down at mostly Issei's pants, which Issei kind of just like moves out of the way and says, you know what, I gotta be going towards mostly Madaka's kind of council rooms. Oh yeah, bye Yang, Ruby, and even Weiss. This is where, well, mostly Weiss says, oh yeah, I gotta follow you. I can't let you just escape me. This is where, well, she says because she knows that mostly Issei will literally try to figure out how to get out of the way. But yeah, this is where, well, Yang kind of just grins a little bit with a toothy grin, while mostly Ruby says, what are you talking about, sis? Oh, nothing. Didn't I already tell you how mostly guys and girls work? That's where Ruby says, ew, no, don't tell me about that no more. This is where, well, mostly Yang says, oh, come on, sis. You gotta be older. You gotta be mature. How will you ever get a date? This is where, well, mostly Ruby kind of just blushes and looks away. This is where, well, a girl in the crowd is actually looking at this, and she was surprised to see Issei again. Then again, she did kind of help him out, kind of get some pent up, mostly just pent up some, yeah, mostly some stuff out of him. So of course, mostly that one time in that room. Yes, this is none other than Lefay, or not Lefay, mostly Lilith. This is where, well, Lilith was seeing this and just shocked to see Issei. This is where, well, then again, shocked to see him even fight against delinquents very easily. Like he took them out all easier. This is where, well, there were some guys who were watching this and were just shocked to actually see Issei again, because they used to actually be in the same kind of middle school as him. Now, of course, Issei looks completely different and the same. Mostly, instead of having brownish hair, like darkish brown hair, he has black hair with green highlights. He looks straight up like a delinquent at first sight. You would think he would be a weak delinquent, kinda, but he's actually the strongest delinquent ever. Those guys who actually know about mostly Issei's reputation in middle school, they know that he's actually considered to be one of the strongest. Of course, they were, everyone was just kind of watching this, and they were all quite, mostly the girls were talking about how mostly he looks kind of cute, hot, awesome, and other things, while the guys were mumbling saying, no way, I hope that pretty boy doesn't actually join the school and other things, blah, 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 blah. While mostly both Issei and Weiss gets back towards the classroom, mostly Madaka was waiting, thinking that mostly Issei managed to escape Weiss, but then they came back. This is where, well, Madaka was shocked to see Issei again, and actually not escape. This is where, oh, she then grins and says, okay, so what did you give me, Weiss? Weiss kind of brought in like a salad and other stuff. This is where, oh, Issei started eating his burger while, well, mostly Weiss kind of says, other than that, he wasn't too much of a problem to me. This is where Madaka says, oh, well, that's good to know. Yeah, he usually used to be a problem towards mostly Rin and also Morgie. This is where, well, mostly Issei says, I was not a problem to them, I was a problem to just you. This is where Madaka says, but why? Because I knew that you would be able to be the only one to catch up to me and actually figure out what was I going to do. This is where Issei kind of said. Madaka just got, I understand now. This is where mostly mostly Weiss does not understand, and this is where, well, she then decides to say, okay, well, I'm going to be going then. I'm going to go back towards mostly studying. This is where, well, mostly Madaka nodded and says, well, good luck with that. This is where, well, Issei is kind of, well, eating his burger, while mostly Madaka was eating her salad, and then kind of felt a little hungry about the burger that Issei was eating. And this is where Madaka says, so Issei, would you mind sharing that burger with me? This is where Issei kind of is hugging the burger and says, no. This is where, well, mostly Madaka says, come on, Issei, don't be mean. This is where, well, Issei says, I know what you're going to try to do. You're going to try to, like, distract me and try to eat the burger by yourself. This is where, well, like the last time I saw you try to do this. This is where, well, mostly Madaka says, I don't know what you're talking about, Issei. Didn't you try to do that exactly to me? The same thing? This is where Issei and Madaka were just looking at each other, and this is where, well, mostly a flashback of memory did appear on mostly Issei's mind. Yes, they basically did this in middle school a lot. Mostly Issei, every time that Madaka either had a burger or something that she didn't eat too fast, Issei would appear and eat it instantly. While if Issei was actually like, talking to some of his gang fellow members, mostly his generals or something, or even talking to someone who was named Kazutora, mostly she will appear out of nowhere and take his burger. This is where it was basically a kind of food fight, but not with throwing stuff, but mostly eating each other's food. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly Montaka says, "Oh, come on, Issei, come on, let me have a piece." This is where mostly Issei says, "No, I'm fine." Issei already ate mostly the salads that mostly he kind of got, and this is where, well, mostly Montaka says, "Come on, Issei, don't be mean to me." This is where mostly Issei says, "No, I refuse." This is where Madaka kind of jumps on him, and this is where, well, both of them are fighting for the burger, and of course, this is where, well, mostly they managed to eat, well, mostly happily each other the burger. It was a freaking battle and mess somewhat, but of course, well, mostly when Morgie and Rin actually saw this, even why she came back just because they heard noise, and they saw mostly both Madaka and Issei just fighting over a burger. They switched up at this and just kind of thought it was stupid, but decided to ignore it and decided to go back to doing whatever they had to do. Of course, it worked well. Mostly, Issei said, "Why did you have to fight against me and my burger?" This is where Madaka says, "Oh no, do you remember that one time that I had a slice of pizza and I was going to save it in middle school and you just took it?" Issei says, "There was no name on there. You never told me there was a pizza. I just got hungry and I just said I wanted pizza." This is where, well, mostly Madaka says, "Then don't take people's food. It was in my refrigerator in the counter room." Issei says, "Oh, right. But you said I could take some stuff." Madaka says, "I thought you were talking about water." Issei says, "I was also hungry at that time, so I did get some water and pizza." This is where Madaka says, "Ah, I hate you so much." Issei says, "Do you really hate me or do you love me?" This is where Issei said in a very smooth tone, which made Madaka blush and just look away. While mostly, Issei kind of looks at her grinning, and of course Madaka just kind of hits him in the head, kind of bonks him and says, "Don't be such a perverted idiot." Issei grins and says, "Oh, come on, I'm not doing anything." This is where, well, mostly they are both talking and just giggling, and of course, this is where, well, mostly it came for the day to be almost over. Of course, where, well, Madaka does, well, mostly all her studies, she does them on the computer, and of course, where, well, she still just gotta do paperwork and other stuff on the computer, but not the point. This is where, well, mostly Issei has just been playing video games on a Chromebook. Also, kind of, well, mostly, how should I say, also kind of, just watching videos and other shit. This is where, well, mostly while Issei is laying on the couch while watching videos, because yes, there's a couch there, Madaka's over here kind of just doing her kind of work, but yeah. Now, this is where, well, mostly Issei got a phone call from someone, and of course, this is where Issei answered the phone call and says, "Yeah, hello." This is where, well, mostly the person says, "Huh? Oh, I see. I finally got to contact you, the son of the Jade Emperor, or should I say, descendant of the Jade Emperor." Issei says, "What do you want?" Issei said in a very dark, malicious tone, which Madaka didn't notice too much. And this is where, well, mostly Issei was trying to look at Madaka just to see if she noticed. This is where, well, mostly the person said, "Oh, nothing. I'm just wondering. Let's see. Do you want to see your older brother and even Monsen, mostly Monsen, yeah, son, not son, mostly, yeah, son, again, or do you want to just let them die?" Issei said. "Who are you and what do you want?" "I want you to go to this warehouse at this direction." Issei said, "Okay, I don't know where the hell that is, but I will find it and I'll kick your ass to the 9 realms of hell." This is a person grins and says, "Yeah, right, if you could anyway." This is where, well, we go into mostly the phone hanging up and Issei kind of grit his teeth. And this is where, well, he then did write the directions on the Chromebook. This is where he then took a picture and decided to kind of search on my Google map. Issei says, "I see. It's kind of across. It's further away from here. Actually, where the hell do I sleep if I can't? I can get a hotel, but then again, I've been here in the whole day. I gotta get my brothers. Well, mostly, not my brothers, mostly my brother and mostly son again. God damn it, how the hell did they get captured that easily?" Not the point. This is where, well, mostly Issei looks at Madaka, and that's where, well, mostly the school is about to be over in a couple of hours, mostly just a couple of, like, minutes, and this is where, well, Issei says, Madaka looks up and says, "Yes, Issei-kun?" That's where Issei says, "So, Where am I gonna be living? This is where Madaka saying, huh? Oh, right. You don't have a house, do you? No, because I'm just here for vacation. I mean, you can go back to the hotel that you lived in. I mean, we don't actually know where that was at. Issei says, okay, that'll be fine. Madaka says, or you can also live with me for just however long you're gonna live. Issei says, that'll be fine also, but mostly I gotta be doing something. I got a direction, mostly a notification direction that I have to go kind of talk to one of my brothers, or mostly someone who was supposed to be my guardian, just to kind of tell them where I'm gonna be at. Madaka says, okay. That's where, well, mostly Madaka didn't actually pay attention in too much what Issei was actually talking about. That's where, well, mostly Issei nodded. Of course, when the classes, well, mostly the school is over, Madaka does kind of tell him and where it will be at. Basically, just giving her phone number to him and just telling him, and if, what's it called, if it's his parent guardian or his brother, it doesn't allow him to, what's it called, or cousin, whatever, doesn't allow him to kind of go to the house, then just give her a call and just to kind of just tell her this. Just so she doesn't set up the room, just so no one can show up. Issei nodded and says, okay. This is where, well, Madaka kind of just sees Issei walking off, and this is where, well, Issei is starting to kind of walk off while Madaka went off to kind of go do something. This is where Madaka actually gets talked by Weiss, Rin, and even what's it called, Morgie. This is where Morgie says, so where's Issei going? This is where, well, mostly, Morgie kind of said. This is where, well, Madaka says he's going to go see his, what's it called, like, his guardian, who actually came with him, and also his brother, or cousin, whatever you can say. I see. This is where, well, mostly Rin says, don't you think it could be a trap and he's going to go do something dangerous? Madaka says, no, he seems quite generated half the time with his words. I didn't see any deceased or anything. Okay. Well, you should probably get home then, mostly Weiss said. Mostly Madaka says, yeah, that is true. So of course they walk away while Issei is now running straight towards the warehouse. He's booking it straight towards the warehouse, and this is where, well, Issei is trying to look around saying, where are they? Where is he? This is where, well, he decides to use what's it called, his eyes. He uses spiral energy to go into his eyes, will mostly advance him so he can see from like eagles away direction, like eagle sight. And this is where, well, like hawk sight, but not the point. This is where, oh. He also uses observation hawking to see and sense where mostly they will be at. And this is where he actually senses where they're at. Now, this is where he sends a whole bunch of army also. And this is where he says, damn it, it's going to be such a huge problem. What should I do? I'm not strong enough. Should I call the Jaded Emperor for him? But, no, I'm his descendant. I shouldn't bother him. I trained with him and I want to get stronger. I'm not going to give up. No, I'm not giving up then. This is where, well, we go into mostly Issei jumping off and kind of rushing down. This is where, well, when he lands down on the ground, he sees an army of the undead right now rushing towards him. The necromancer is right now just going straight towards him. This is where he says, attack! Don't let him survive. Kill him now! Issei notices this is where, well, Issei says, be gone from my sight. This is where, well, mostly his greenish emerald necklace started kind of glowing, and even his mostly drill necklace started glowing also. This is where a powerful wave of mostly dragon's rage kind of conquers Hawking, actually appears right now, smashing upon the undead and actually destroying them, right now making them unable to kind of move. They all pass out, even though they're undead, they still pass out. This is where the necromancer passed out himself, right now making all the zombies disappear. Issei makes a sword out of flames to stab upon this person. Issei then starts walking ahead. This is where, well, when he keeps kind of going ahead and kind of walking through, what's it called? Through the warehouse, he kind of sees, what's it called? His two brothers, mostly not two brothers, mostly he sees, what's it called? Jacob and also, what's it called? Mostly San or Sen or whatever. This is where, well, when Issei was about to get closer, mostly what appears is actually the guy who with claws, and even another person that has kind of black shades. This is where they say, so you're the son of the Jaded Emperor. Let's see if you're stronger than mostly those two. This is where, well, when they're rushing straight towards Issei right now puts his hands together, right now igniting jaded flames, and this is where he started kind of smashing upon the guy with mostly the claws. This time he started aiming for the claws entirely. He started just kind of like snapping his hands, or mostly not hands, mostly snapping his fingers. Think of it like Benji Mardo when he kind of just sends fireballs over fireballs multiple times. Yeah, that's what Issei does, and multiple times at the gauntlet. Da 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 da. This is where, well, he does it with both of his hands. This is where, oh, with those attacks, it managed to kind of destroy the gauntlet and actually managed to let the gauntlet like seep in some liquid down on the ground. The guy whined his eyes, and this is where the guy with dark shades whined his eyes also. He saw these jaded flames before. This is where Issei rushes at the guy, right now making a sword and stabbing it into the guy. The guy coughed out blood and turned into nothing but jaded flames. The guy with dark shades kind of just grit his teeth and says, "Whatever. Besides, we took the power and energy that I needed from mostly those two to resurrect a god. So don't worry about any of them." He says, "What do you mean, God?" "Oh, don't worry. The God that we're gonna resurrect is someone that's supposed to be able to defeat anyone. He's a god of victory. He has never lost." This is where mostly Issei says, "God damn it! You can't do something like that." "Don't worry. We'll see this place be destroyed in an instant." Or mostly not god of victory, or mostly a god of or not the god of what's it called, war or any of that. Mostly not god of victory, mostly the god of like, it's like a destruction being, an ancient kind of primordial god. And this is where his name is Erebus, and this is where he says, "I will summon him out to destroy this world and cover in nothing but darkness." This is where the person grins and saying, "I will destroy London with everyone inside it." He says, "No, you can't." This is where the person says, "Well, too bad, I'll be gone." He right now goes into shadow and sinks into the darkness. Issei tries to burn him alive, but then just kind of grit his teeth. He sees his two mostly companions that he came with, and decides to go up to them and see that they're kind of weak, but then uses a bit of jade and flame to kind of try to heal them. This is where both of them kind of manage to break out of the chains. This is where mostly Jago says, "Damn it, I can't believe I got sneaked so easily." This is where Song also goes angry. This is where Issei says, what was going on?" The guy said that he wanted to summon out something called Erebus or whatever, a primordial god of darkness. I can't remember. This is where mostly not Song, mostly the guy was named Sen. Mostly Mandak was kind of like saying, "I see." So that's what he wanted with our powers. He just managed to drain our energies, and we had lots of it. So yeah, he just says, "I see." Damn it. What happened? This is where mostly Jago says, "What happened to the guy with the claws?" "I defeated him. I destroyed him also." "Okay, what about the other guy?" "He managed to escape. He wanted to summon the god or whatever." This is where both Jago and even what's it called, Mandak, we're going to have to contact the Jaded Emperor because they know this god is going to be quite destructive. But we go into the next day, and of course nothing else happened. The Jaded Emperor says if anything happened, he will rush over there quick. He knows that there's not really an alliance with most of the angels or even the gods for the mostly the Chinese gods. But yeah, he'll rush over there quickly if they can. But we go into mostly something happening. Something huge appears in the water. This is where it was a god of darkness, mostly Erebus, or whatever his name was again. Mostly the person was grinning and saying, "Now send this continent to nothing but darkness. Show the angels that they're nothing." This is where mostly Jago and even what's it called, Amanda already gets ready. This is where the huge god appears, mostly the kind of god of primordial darkness. Also kind of is a sibling of none other than Nyx, but not the point. Mostly it kind of looks like this. This is what it kind of looks like. This is the god that actually appears. But yeah, this is where the god is right now kind of walking through, and of course sending everything to darkness. Mostly the sea turning into nothing but black. This is where mostly he starts walking into mostly the land. Of course, where a bunch of supernatural beings were actually alerted in an instant. Right now, this is where Mandak and even what's it called, Jago are actually trying to take out this person, the god. Of course, Jago right now goes into his god form being, and even Mandak. Now, of course, Mandak did tell Issei to stay back. He's still not strong enough to fight against this being. Now, of course, a lot of like other supernatural beings trying to fight against Erebus. This is where Erebus says, "You will not dare defy me." This is where he sent darkness upon everyone, mostly taking out almost all these supernaturals. Almost their magic just got easily erased. They were confused. They were like, "What? How?" This is where mostly some people like Madaka and like other people like in the school of the Golden Lions were actually shocked because they tried to use their magical abilities, but they felt weak entirely. The darkness was actually covering up the world, mostly the plane, mostly the sun entirely. This is where Erebus was grinning and saying, "Now all of you would turn into nothing but darkness." Issei notices and realizes that he can't. Everyone was getting defeated in an instant, mostly both Mandak and even what's it called, Jago, the only strong people that he knows, were just easily defeated. Jago did try to send a huge light spear, but this is where even what's it called, Mandak just tried to summon out God's weapon, a God sword, huge God sword, but easily got destroyed. This is where Both of them were too weak still. They were still not fully regenerated their energy. That's right. Well, mostly the Jade Emperor was rushing straight towards the place, but he couldn't use magic just yet because, well, it's kind of far, but not that far. And he still wants to kind of have enough energy to kind of get there. But this is where, well, mostly he then kind of gave up halfway, like trying to fly over there, but decided to try to use Magic Circle. It kind of got destroyed. This is where, well, he was shocked and annoyed. He decided to try to fly over there. Some other guys like Wukong actually wanted to go over there to try to fight against this being, just because he heard of this being strong. And this is where, well, some other gods also appear with the Jade Emperor to try to fight against this primordial god of darkness. But this is where, well, Issei sees that almost anyone is going to get hurt. This is where multiple darkness tentacles starts trying to attack mostly the supernatural beings, even those humans. This is where, well, some humans got defeated, killed, and this is where, well, Issei kind of noticed one of the darkness tentacles kind of like rushing past him. And of course, Issei managed to dodge because mostly the darkness isn't affecting him too much because thanks to his flames. But this is where the tentacles managed to hit into someone that actually made him quite angry and enraged to see get hurt. It's none of the Madaka. Madaka was like, ugh, damn it. This is where, well, her clothing was ripping. This is where he says, Madaka. This is where it made him very enraged, seeing Madaka get hurt. This is where he then turned his eyes towards what's called the primordial darkness beam. And this is where Erebus was kind of just laughing. And this is where he says, I'm going to kill you, son of a... This is where, well, mostly Issei kind of got so angry that he exploded with nothing but shading flames. And this is where, well, he started kind of launching like huge fireballs straight towards Erebus. Now, Erebus tried to use darkness to try to block these flames, but they managed to just pass through and hit him. This is where they're turning into drills and smash into him. This is where he gets angry and enraged and says, who did that? This is where, well, Issei was right now in this huge kind of form of like flames, like a dragon made out of greenish flames. This is where something appears on his like left hand in an instant. It's like a gauntlet. This is where, well, mostly Issei says, I'm going to fuck you up. This is where, well, mostly Erebus says, bring it on, dragon. This is where both of them start fighting. But for right now, I'm going to leave it off here for only part 16. Because, well, part 17 will be mostly this fight. But other than that, I'll be going. Bye. So, yeah. Yeah, bye.